Well, after a bit of a wake, it is NTT IndyCar race weekend yet again, and you know what that means. When they race, we race here first. And it's time for the top split action in the 2025 IndyCar iRacing Series. Hello, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Gary Gonzo. Welcome to round 3 of the 2025 season for the IndyCar iRacing Series for the Saturday top split broadcast presented by 4D Racewear. As we're in for a real marathon today of the streets as IndyCars come to Long Beach and their road course crown jewel, the Grand Prix of Long Beach. There you see the weather conditions on your screen. 71 degrees on the ambient, 97 on the track temp. And I'm not sure where we're lining up getting ready to go green, but qualifications are done, so we're going to jump right on into this. And I think we're lining up on the front stretch, I think. So we are going to get we getting the full lap or no?
No, I think we're sure. No, it's in turn 6.
Okay. Well, let's get in today's starting lineup. Stand by.
All right. Well, it's great to be here. Great to talk to you, Gary and Ryan. Welcome, everybody. Let's go into the starting lineup. We have a very, very stacked field today. All-star cast joining today's race. And on the pole, we have Jaden Munoz, the Williams eSports driver, who is the only one that was able to eclipse the 105. He did a 104.9, which is crazy fast around this place. Joining him on the front row, I mean, no slouch at all, it's Peter Berryman, who did a 105 flat. So the difference between them is only 20 hundredths of a second. We're going to have a great battle between those. And then in row 2, more heavy hitters. We have Phil Krause, the private level team hype, Hyperslide. That super hyper team from the IndyCar Series. He's going to be starting third, 105.4 for him. And joining him is Luis Nunez, who has been crazy fast as well. So we have a lot of heavy hitters up front. Then in row 3, we have Nathan Moore, who has also been crazy fast during the week, joined by the general Kevin Burrell, who's going to be starting 6th. Starting in 7th is Thomas Mustanen, joined by Kevin Deslayers. I think that's his first appearance in the top 6, so welcome to him. Then we have the Fiercely Forward group with Sam Carasala and Nick Sudik. They're going to be starting 9th and 10th in row 5. Row 6, we can find Alexei Lukic. He's joined by Neil Royalik, starting 12th. Starting 13th from Matt Works, we have Matt Taylor, joined by Mark Arick, starting 14th. Then, starting 15th is Aiden Matthijs, joined by Jack Kent. Starting 17th is Will Weiser, who's going to have a tough starting position for him. He's joined by Dylan Freckleton. Starting 19th, Sergio Fernandez, joined by Jake Vasconcelos. Then starting 21st, we can find Rashad Craig, joined by Paula Bay. 23rd is Kevin Parrish. 24th for Logan Edwards. 25th for Agelos Veretos, another new name to the show. Welcome. And then starting 26th is Christian Hilder, who's going to have a tough, he wasn't able to set a time here. He's going to be trying to come from back. That's tough to do here at Long Beach. And he's joined by Christophe Demey. Full field for us today, 27 cars. And we are ready to go green as the cars make their turn from the hairpin into Shoreland Drive. Ready to go racing, boys. And there it is. Green flags in the air.
Everybody from about the 8th row on still getting through the hairpin, but Jade Munoz wasting no time down to turn 1.
The contested for P3 between Krause and Nunez. See if everybody is able to get through the fountain cleanly. I don't see any incidents.
I think Will Weiser started from pit road.
Oh yeah, but everything went without a hitch. Great job to everybody. I mean, this is the top of the top. And it's going to be so interesting to see what these drivers decide to do. A lot of it's going to boil down to strategy. We know, Long Beach, beautiful track, but realistically tough to pass. There are only maybe 2 passing spots, turn 1, turn 9. Other than that, it's very, very difficult to set something up. But then you have strategy. And I've seen the 2-stubber work. It's a little bit rough because you have to save a lot of fuel in order to make it.
That's why they added those 5
close.
extra laps, so Dixon can't do that anymore.
Exactly. But I mean, I would imagine that most of the field is going to try to go for a 3-stop, 3-stop race, which would let you do a very, very fast stint on the alternate tire, the Wayuli tire. But I see a lot of them already.
Yeah,
on the alternate tire. I think it's
top 6 on the Wayuli.
Yeah, top 6. Actually, pretty much everybody in the top 11 except Mustonen. No, Nathan Moore. Nathan Moore is right now on the primary tire. Everybody else around him on the alternate. So we'll see what the call is here. But I can imagine that we're in for a treat.
Well,
Ryan, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I was going to ask you a question as well. If you're further back in the field, is it worth going with an alternate strategy and see if it can maybe help you get further up through the field? Maybe pitting early, maybe 1 or 2 laps earlier than expected.
I think I have an answer to your question on that one. Pay attention to P15. Christian Hilgard. Remember, he was at the back of the pack? He is up 11 spots in 3 laps. And he is on the prime tire.
I wanna take a look at the review. Wow.
I just looked at the standings. I'm like, whoa. He's up 11 spots in 3 laps. Christian Hilgard, one of the real aces here in this line. And I shouldn't say he's one of the real aces. Every single one of these drivers is looking on the outside. He's got himself in prime position for the next pass, going into 8. And he pulls that off. Very good.
There was a 4-car pileup. That definitely helped Christian a little bit with those positions that he made. Alexei Lukic lost it entering turn 1. That collected Mark Orish, Neil Rolich, Matt Taylor. So, and Aiden Matthijs. Oh no, 6 cars. Oh my God.
Wow! Here, oh my goodness! Here it is. We'll go back and see it right here. Mark Urish. Oh, the car in front of him spins out. He gets in the back of that car. Here comes the Seb Bourdais car. He sneaks through barely. We have someone doing a half barrel roll. We do have a white Red Bull car in here. That's normally danger, but didn't start the wreck. That's 25. But yeah, a number of guys flew into this zone. That's Jack Kent, I think, also. The 19 of Dylan Freckleton, I think, was where it started.
I think it all starts with Alexei Lukic.
Okay, yeah. There it is.
The one that blows it,
right here.
Oh, man.
and Matt Taylor, just nowhere to go. Here comes, I'm not sure who else was involved in that one.
Yeah,
barrel
so
rolling it through. Yeah.
Rashad Craig is the first one that's able to make it by. That obviously helps. Christian Hilgard moving all those spots. But now he's running P13.
He up 2 more spots in the time that we were watching that wreck.
Yeah, he went by Pilot Bay. And then, wow, in turn 8 over Kevin Parrish. That's not a typical passing zone. You can see what happens if you remember that race between Award and Dixon. That's not typically somewhere that you send it, but he definitely made it work. So move Christian Hilgard up to 12 now, as Neil Relic is having an issue.
He might have had a DC, possibly?
Yeah, it didn't seem like anything out of the ordinary, probably just mechanical, which is very, very unfortunate in these cars.
Well, Jade Munoz out to now a 4.2 second lead over Berryman. Berryman currently holding Phil Kraus at bay for the time being. Oh, Phil, I think, might have smacked the wall in turn one, and he is missing a front wing.
Yeah,
The right front wing plane is gone, and here comes Luis Nunez, and Phil Kraus toes.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Just watching the replay from my end, and it looks like Phil just carried a little bit too much speed on the entry and just lost the rear, and he was pretty much a passenger from then on.
That's day done. Day done for Phil. He already disconnected. I see Jack Kent missing a side pod. Logan Edwards goes wide in turn one. Lots of crazy things happening right now.
And here you see just washes and bangs the wall there. And then the wing, the right front wing plane comes off. And that is going to make his race a little bit longer. And at this point, he's like, 7 laps into this thing, nah. And new paint job for their cars, though, in time for Indy.
Something happened to Luis Nunez. Something happened to him as well.
Luis Nunez coming to pit road.
He's speeding right now, but he was slow, very, very slow.
Unscheduled stop at the moment for Luis Nunez.
I'm having a look at the replay from my end, and he done the same as Phil. He hit the wall in turn one.
Oh no! So this is a remnant of that same incident. Let's see, and that typically happens. You're following the car in front. If they mess up, you mess up. Oh, that was a big hit for Luis.
Here it is. Oh, yeah, same thing, right into the tire barrier, and that right front wheel is not aiming. Oh, and he's forgiven by iRacing. Gosh, the gods love him.
Yeah, a little luckier than Phil, but still, that's gonna really put a wrench on his his strategy for today.
Jaden Munoz is your leader. Berryman is second now. The general has worked his way up to third. He is joined by that's teammate, right? Kevin Desnoyers. Yeah, I believe those are teammates. Right behind him is from the Classic IndyCar Series, Thomas Mustanen. Had himself a good race in their last event at Motegi. He was on the podium there. Sam Carasala, another fiercely forward driver, in sixth.
Lots of fiercely forward drivers, and of course, all of them up front. I mean, Burrell third, Neuer's fourth, Carasala sixth, Nick Sudikin seventh, and Christian Hildred already in the top 10. There you go for all the fiercely forward crew.
All of the black and yellow cars, yeah.
And I believe that fiercely forward, they're more known as a kind of a sports car team, if you like, or from my history of commentating on some series that they've been a part in. But yeah, I think this side of the team, the IndyCar team, has recently been launched not too long ago. So for a side of the team that's not been around too long, they're definitely doing well.
Also on their team, but not in the lineup, is Hamilton Akabuizi. Akabuizi is we normally see him a lot on the Tuesday night on the ovals. But the road course guys have all showed up big today. As mentioned, 4 of their drivers in the top 10. Actually, 5 of their drivers now in the top 10. We got Burrell, Desnoyers, Carasala, Sudik, and Hildegard. Or Hilgard, excuse me. Everyone does that. I do it, and he keeps reminding me that it's not Hildegard's like the guy that lost the 500. It's Hilgard, the guy that hasn't lost the 500.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, I've been guilty of butchering his second name in the past, so yeah, join the club. As Noyers jumps into the pits.
As someone whose name has been butchered their entire life, I feel his pain, and I should not be contributing to it. So, Desnoyer is coming to pit road, looking to get off the Waiuli tires. The highest placed driver without the Waiulis on the primes is this guy, Nathan Moore, driving for William eSports. Talked to him. He recently got acquired by William eSports and is very happy about it. And he is currently in 7th spot on the prime tires. In fact, The next 6 cars, all on the prime tires. Actually, 5 cars. Moore, Craig, Parrish, Jake, and Pally Bay. And I'm not quite sure how to say Jake's last name. It's Vasinellos. All right, all right. I'm just going to refer to you with the sexy Latin tongue. I cannot do that name justice.
Yeah, Jake Vasconcelos, 10 spots up for him. And, you know, we have been talking about Hildegard, who I think just went into the pits as well, and that's probably a planned, strategy call. But Rashad Craig, he's up 13 positions, and Kevin Parrish up 14. So, you know, I mean, there's been a lot of attrition, but still, you gotta, keep it in track in order to make those moves actually stick. So, great job from him.
Yeah, we started with 27. And we actually kind of got through the first lap pretty cleanly, and then it was the second lap where we had the issues occur. But right now, 19 cars are still running out of the 27 that started. We're at lap 11 of 90. Thanks for joining us, everybody, on this NTT IndyCar race weekend. Real qualifications will be starting here very soon for the real IndyCar Series. Please, no spoilers in chat. No spoilers in chat. We would all like to go watch qualifications after this race, knowing nothing. So no spoilers in chat, please. But your top 5 right now: Munoz, Berryman, Burrell, Mustanen, and Carasala. Looks like the Fiercely Forward squad, which are a lot of these black and yellow cars that we've been seeing on the racetrack. Here's a good example. Kevin Burrell, a lot of them on, looks like they've got a split strategy. A number of cars have come in early to get off those Waiuli tires, while a number of the cars on the Waiuli tires going long. Keith, the key example there is Kevin Burrell.
Yeah, and I think, I was thinking about Luis Nunez and the incident that he had, that it could potentially take him completely out of, at least a top 5. But now seeing the early pit stop, you can still make it. I mean, you can make a 2-step work. So pitting at lap 6, like Luis did, he's going to need to save a little bit more, but he can do it in 2 more stops.
Yeah, he only pitted 2 laps different than what his teammate Desnoyers did. So
exactly.
He should, you're right, he should, with his skill set, be able to do that. So we'll watch him. We'll keep monitoring him as this race goes on.
Yeah. I see that there's a little bit of a battle here developing between Dylan Freckleton and Pally Bay. That's for P11. Freckleton has been a tiny bit quicker than Pally the last couple of laps. He's there. But again, passing here is rough.
Yeah, I think his best part, if he can get a good run on the exit of the hairpin and carry that speed down the straight, he might be able to make a move into turn 1, but you'll need to be fully alongside to make it work.
That was originally a good run, but then he kind of spun the tires a tiny bit, lost a ton of momentum.
I was watching the first practice from Long Beach on yesterday on Fox Sports 1, and if you go back and watch that practice, if you recorded it or something, Hinch did a really good dissertation on how important turn 11 is. Because it's so slow, that's actually the corner where if you don't take it right, you lose the most time. You wouldn't think that's the case because you think it's a slow corner. You can't possibly lose a lot of time there. And he was really exciting the examples of how you can, of all the corners on this race course, that's the one where you lose the most time at. So if you could master turn 11, the hairpin, really the rest of these corners should be a breeze for you.
That's a very interesting point of view. There's another battle developing right now. Will Weiser, Jack Kent.
Jack Kent has a flappy side pod at the moment. It's a bit of a parachute that's going to catch the wind.
But he has been keeping pace. I mean, he does have damage. That's slowing him down for sure. And I think Will Weiser is going to be able to make the move here as he goes to the inside and turn 1. I think, smart thing to kind of let off the gas a little bit.
Now, all joking aside, I'm going to be joking at these guys. They are both sporting Formula One liveries on an IndyCar, guys. Come on. Guys. we could get you an IndyCar livery. Trading Paints has a ton of them. You could pick up a former winner here, like Mario Andretti, Paul Tracy. You want to go more current, Scott Dixon, Al Unser. Al Unser Jr. almost won here 5 times straight if it wasn't for his teammate.
Yeah.
Danny Sullivan booted him out of the way there for his 5th consecutive win. Yeah, but Al Unser got the later up on that one. He ended up winning the 500 later that year. So all things considered, I think Al Unser's 92 season was pretty successful.
It sure was. I mean, low-key, I'm also going to say that Red Bull white livery, it's really, really nice to look at.
I will say that I have a soft spot in my heart for white liveries. And I think they show up really well on streams. So if you ever want to be seen well on streams, I advise a white livery because it's not often used. Now, I say that, and then I'm going to start a trend of a whole bunch of people going to white liveries. There's nothing wrong with the plain white wrapper. Just ask Jacob Collins. But, there are some white IndyCar liveries you can go to if you like. The Nigel Mansell team, Newman Haas, kind of the white and black one there. That comes to mind. But there's a number of white liveries out there in IndyCar style. Hey, how about a red, white, and blue Shearson Domino's hot one? That looks pretty good. But
probably shouldn't right now, but Marlboro Team Penske, when, they dominated with that red and white livery.
Oh, the Marlboro livery, classic. In fact, Gilles de Ferran holds the track record here. Set it back in '97. I believe he was still racing for as we watched Jack Kent come to pit road. I think maybe Gilles was still racing for Walker Racing at the time, but that was at the old course. So you might be asking, what is the old course? Well, let's ride with Jaden Munoz real quick here. And as he gets to this braking zone and turns left, that is actually the new course that goes around the fountain. And I'm not a big fan of the fountain, and it's really there for a picture. You can't really do much through there. It's narrow. It's like threading a needle. I don't think much is taken out of the way of why the fountain was added to the course other than a place to take a picture, I think. But it used to be where they would go down the front stretch and they would turn right. And then this whole corner period of this area right here, this is where they would be racing back, and then they would rejoining the course right about in here, and then they would be going down the back. The back stretch has always been the same. In fact, the far end of the course has always been the same since IndyCar has been coming here. That is my favorite course, and that is the course that the CART set the track record at a 51-2. The current track record, and that was set by Colton Herta in 2022 with a time of 105.3. The career wins leaders here at Long Beach as we watch Munoz go around some lap traffic. Yeah, the undisputed king of the beach, as mentioned, is Al Jr. He has 6 wins, including 4 in a row from 98 to 91. But almost 5 of his teammate Danny Sullivan didn't boot him out of the way in the 92 race. Your next closest are Paul Tracy and Mario Andretti with 4. Mario is getting credit for 4, even though 3 are IndyCar, 1 is Formula 1. So he's the only one to do it at IndyCar and Formula 1. Your defending NTT IndyCar Series race winner from Long Beach is the inevitable Scott Dixon. And hopefully he does well, but I heard he had a bit of a rough day earlier today. Last 10 IndyCar races here, unbelievable, have produced 8 different winners. 10 races, 8 different winners. The only ones to repeat in that time frame are Rossi and Dixon. So that tells you how hard it is to win here, that even if you do have the experience of getting dubs, doesn't always mean you come back and get another one right away. Several drivers have received their first wins here at Long Beach, including Michael Andretti, got his first career win here. Paul Tracy got his first career win here. Juan Montoya got his first career here. Mike Conway, little known fact, he got his first career win here. Takuma Sato, he got his first career win here. And Kyle Kirkwood. And this is also the birthplace of something else very important, probably the second most important thing in all of IndyCar racing. If we all agree if the checkered flag is the most important thing in all of IndyCar racing, what is the second most important thing of all of IndyCar racing, guys?
In a single race?
Just getting to do after you win a race, the second most important thing.
7 on the podium.
But that's pretty important. Yes.
Drink the champagne.
That's pretty important. How about this is the birthplace of your victory donuts. Alex Zanardi. Alex Zanardi. It is not a NASCAR thing. You see NASCAR drivers do it all the time with their burnouts and everything. It's a NASCAR thing. Nope. Really, the only Indy tradition that NASCAR guys started was kissing the bricks. And I'm going to say that's not a bad one. But the tradition of doing victory donuts is 100% started by IndyCar, and that was Alex Zanardi when he got his first win here.
I thought you were going to say the Paul Tracy pit road dance when he done that muscle thing.
Oh, if somebody would like to put a video of that in chat, go ahead.
I still remember watching that on TV at the time, and I was thinking, well, what a legend. But
well, Pally Bay, Derek Freckleton, Kevin Desnoyers, all in a train down the backstretch at the moment.
Desnoyers going around Freckleton. All right, so I think we're getting very, very close to a point where I think Jaden Munoz is going to be calling it in to pit.
Here
and
he
if
is.
you're going for a 3-stopper, you're going to be around 22 to 26 laps and going full push the entire race, basically. Behind him, Peter Berryman, P2, he's 11 seconds out, but I think he's trying to do a 2-stopper. We'll see, and that's going to develop in the next couple of laps. But other than that, we have the top 11. They haven't hit. The Desnoyers is the first one of those that have already done their first pit stop. He's running P12. Just got around Dylan Freckleton, who hasn't pit yet. And then everybody else, Will Weiser, Luis Nunez, Hildgard, Edwards, Kent, Moretos, they all have pitted once. So, yeah, we're getting to that point where strategies start to develop, and we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, 2-stopper is more in the neighborhood of 30, I guess. If they can, I don't see him getting to 30. That's a long stint. 3-stopper is more in the 22 to 23 neighborhood, like you mentioned. And yeah, here he comes, pit road, just on cue. That is why Antonio Estrada is El Patron. He is the boss. He knows what's going on. That's why he's here, and I don't give you the strategies.
I mean, it's easy to call them from outside. Whenever I'm calling my own strategy, I mess it up. But...
And looks like Jaden Munoz showing a little bit of damage on the left front end plane on the wing. Now it's fixed.
Well, he has been hitting, been using every single inch of the wall. Like that lap where we were running around with him, he basically scraped the wall out of every single turn, which, that's why he's super fast as well. But I guess some of those can become a little bit of damage according to, iRacing's netcode. He's coming out of the pits right now next to Nick Sudik.
That is not an easy pit exit, by the way.
It's horrible.
I mean, if the turn if the turn was profiled maybe another 20 to 50 feet further down the road, that might be an easier turn on to the racetrack. But the entry off of pit road here is very difficult, and it jumps you right out almost into the racing line.
Yeah. Yeah, and when you come with, if you come in clean track, that's great because then you can do whatever. But if you come out like Jaden just did, like right side by side with somebody else, that's tough. And he's going for a move here on Nick Sudik, so he gets by.
Nick has not stopped yet, I don't think.
Nope. No, we need Berman, Burrell, Mustonen, Sudik, Karsala, Nathan Moore, Rashad Craig, Kevin Parrish, Jake Vasconcelos, Pilot Bay, and Freckleton. Those are the guys that haven't hit yet.
Everybody in the top 10 not yet except for Munoz. Munoz was that far out ahead. He rejoins in 4 spots.
Oh, Nick Sudik just had a huge moment right behind the leader. Saving. What a save. And right in front of his teammate as well.
Check it out. Nick Sudik, latest pickup. Fast and Furious will be proud of that one. Nick Sadiq, latest pickup from Fiercely Forward, playing the role of Vin Diesel today. He wishes
that's
he
a
could play the
profile
role.
picture for him.
I'm about to say. And right behind him is Sam Carasala. So remember, Rule 1, racing your teammate. Don't wreck your teammate. Rule 2 is see Rule 1. So give each other a lot of room there, especially if you're going to Fast and Furious it through Turn 1 here at Long Beach. And maybe he might want to come to pit road and say, that's enough for tires. No, he's going to stay on out. So they're going on a strategy of going long on these Waiuli tires. Top 6 on the Waiuli tires. And if you see here in the graphic on your screen, I'm circling them. If you see a green triangle next to your favorite driver or driver you're watching's name, that means they are on the Waiuli tire. The Waiuli tire is spelled with a G, but said with a Y. So it's just like saying my last name is Yadso. It doesn't sound right, right? So
I'm calling you that now.
But it is a environmentally friendly tire, and they use them on street courses during the NTT IndyCar season. So you'll see them at Long Beach. You saw them at St. Pete, and you will see them again when they go to Detroit and Toronto. We'll see them again later this season in the IIS. So when we go to Detroit, but not Toronto, we'll be going to another track. I believe it's going to be Montreal, and that is considered in the sim a permanent road course. So that is not that will be just a alternate red track in the sim.
Yeah, it's gonna be. Mm-hmm.
Back to the battle between Pally Bay and Dylan Freckleton. They have not really let each other escape one another for much of this stint. This is back in 13th spot. Neither one of them have pitted either, so do we see them make the run down pit road at a race with the pit crews coming this time by?
Yeah, and Will Weiser just went by Pally Bay. He had been stuck behind him for the last couple of laps. I think most of these guys are going to try and go to at least 26, 27, and just try to shorten the last stint as much as possible. I think they're still going to go to a 3-stopper. Again, I think Berman has the pace to make the 2-stepper work, because the thing is, you can make the 2-stepper work, but if you're going so slow, then it's not going to matter.
Yeah, the pace.
The folks are going to get by you. So it's like, okay, why do you want to do that? But I think Berman does have the pace to go, to do a Dixon, basically, to go so fast while saving a lot of fuel that everybody else is like, how are you doing that?
He's coming up to a bunch of traffic right now, and does he make the dip down pit road and possibly save time instead of losing time behind all the traffic? Christian Hilgard right in front of him is no slouch. So is Luis Nunez, no slouch. And, of course, we're seeing the battle all race long between Freckleton and Pally Bay. So a lot of drivers with pace in front of them. It just depends on when they're all together in a train now in the hairpin. Does he want? Well, one's peeling off. Pally Bay in the Toyota livery. Of course, Long Beach, well known through Toyota racing history. This is where they used to have the Toyota Celebrity Pro-Am.
Oh, right. Memory unlocked. That's been a long time since I heard that.
And that was a Carlton from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. That's where he got his man card, basically, because it was taken away when he did that dumb dance. An actor shows you an actor will do anything if they get paid enough. But Carlton was a participant and regular winner in the Pro-Am races here. So Caitlyn Jenner, former Bruce Jenner, was a participant in that race. Who else was in that? Saved by the Bell guys were in this race a lot, too.
I think, wasn't Keanu Reeves part of it as well?
I'm sure he was.
It might have been, yeah.
Newman, I'm sure Newman was. I'm pretty sure he was. In fact, I think that's where he got the racing bug. It was one of the racing bugs of his, but that's when he got and then he got ownership into the Newman Haas racing team, of course, with his name on it.
Oh, thanks, guys, for making me go down nostalgia lane.
Yeah, man,
That was every year. That was the second most attended race behind the Indy cars coming here. Was always the Toyota, and it was they drove Celicas. They were all identically prepared racing Celicas, and they were there was the Toyota Celica Pro-Am Grand Prix or something like that. But yeah, it was the second most attended race of the weekend behind the Indy cars. It was that popular. Hilgard now to the attenuator of his teammate, Luis Nunez. Here's a camera angle we don't use a lot, but I saw Fox using it. Here you go, the nose cam. And Nunez is going to let his teammate on by.
So just super quickly, Sam Percella, Rashad Craig, they both went into the pits. That leaves only 5 actually that haven't made that turn. That's your leader, Pierre Berman, Kevin Burrell, Thomas Mosanen is just in lap 29. Nathan Moore and Dylan Freckleton. That's the other one that's left. So I think these 4 remaining cars, they're going along.
Yeah, they're going on the 2-stopper. The numbers coming in when they get to lap 30 or so. That will get them in mathematically to the 2 stops neighborhood.
Luis Nunez is letting Berryman by. Alfonso Rivera was the name of Carlton, the actor that played Carlton. I was trying so hard to find that name.
And he's the host of Dancing with the Stars, and of course, there's an IndyCar tie in there. Helio Castroneves, champion of Dancing with the Stars. I've been noticing a lot of these drivers coming down the main straight have been kind of fading off to the right a little bit, going over the lane that signifies the exit of pit road. And in my understanding in the real race, that if you get 2 tires, you touch the line or go over the line, you're getting a penalty this time. So apparently that's not enabled for the sim. So a lot of these drivers making that turn 1 entry just a little bit wider and fading over with their rights just dipping onto that line going down the front stretch.
Yeah, you take what you can. It is still a dangerous move. But
give them an inch, and they'll take another one.
We will try. And then the problem is, if you step over that line, you're going to get a slowdown. So it's a race reward kind of thing. Here goes
Perryman, pit road. He is going for the 2-stopper. Now he needs to make this work every stint. He can't come up short in this stint right here and then expect to make it home without a massive fuel save. So he will need to go 2 laps 60 or beyond in order to get the final stint in without doing a splash and go at the end.
I think he's going to be fine. I mean, because right now this is already lap 31, so he was able to make it full 30 laps and just a bit more. Same with Burrell, same with Nathan Moore, who's pinning right now. And I imagine that Dylan Freckleton is going to be pinning out. So I think he was not necessarily unhappy to see that traffic in front of him, because that helps you, lift it a little bit and just get by with the draft. So we'll see how things shake out. Right now, Munoz retakes the lead, of course. A 30-second lead is not that big of a gap, especially knowing what Berryman is trying to do, because Munoz has to beat twice.
Here's your push-to-pass situation. As we see Nick Sudik on the button there. Nick Sudik spent a lot of time on the button. Holy cow, he's we're not even halfway home, and Nick is about halfway done with the push-to-pass. Nick is a long-time video gamer, so maybe he has a little too much Mario Kart in him. We'll see. Munoz with 156, Berryman with 190, and that's not surprising considering he needs every drop on every stint to go the distance, so he's not going to use that button much. And if he did use the button at all, my guess is he used it very early in the stint to establish maybe a position and maybe push to defend a little bit. Mustan 183, Desnoyers 150, Burrell 192, Hilgard 179, Nunez 188, Nick with 108, Carasalo with 181, and Moore with 170. I know you guys are not in the booth with me when we do the Formula Indy Series on Wednesday nights. They just crowned the champion for their season 7. That was Caleb Bency this week. But they had a driver that discovered in their last couple of races that if he used every ounce of push to pass in his first stint, he would guarantee himself top 10s. I don't know how he figured it out, and I don't know how he pulled it off all the time, but the last 2 road course races of the season were his best road course finishes, and it's basically from spamming the button to get in position and then hold him off for the remainder of the race. But he was out of push to pass by the end of his first stint in both races.
Wow. Well, yeah. That's certainly a strategy. I'm not
strategy.
Sure I would love to do that because I would love to keep at least, and I always want to keep at least some in my back pocket whenever we're getting on to the closing laps, because otherwise, how do you defend, right? But I mean, if you can get a bunch of track position and then position yourself far out of others' reach, I guess that works, and more power to him.
Peter Berryman behind lap traffic. I'm just going to say Jake, and then I will pass it over to Antonio to fill in the last name in the best possible way.
Vasconcelos.
Vasconcelos.
There you go. All right, so I had to pull up the list of winners of the celebrity race that you were talking about. So Alfonso Ribeiro, he won it a lot of times. Rutledge Wood, Brian Austin-Green, Keanu Reeves, like you said, Brian.
Rutledge Wood won this thing? No way. What'd they do?
Rutledge Wood.
What did they do? Give the guy like a 3-lap lead and then tell him to finish the race with as a relief driver for somebody else, or what? No way he won. He won this race?
I mean, that's what it's showing here. I mean, I don't know if he was like the only entry or everybody else wrecked. I don't know. But he did.
Rutledge Wood
won.
Yeah, Frankie Miros. I forgot about him.
Yeah, he's in the truck
racing,
series.
Yeah, NASCAR Craftsman Cup Series. Currently racing there.
Craftsman Truck Series. He's racing in he raced in the Xfinity, NASCAR Xfinity Series a couple of seasons ago, I believe.
Yeah. Okay.
He also done some when he first started racing. He done some. I can't remember if I'm correct or not, but I believe he done some racing when he first started with the Skip Barber Racing School.
He did. He was trying to go through the IndyCar ladder, and I imagine that winning that race probably helped a little bit with that, because then you are surrounded by everything that has to do with IndyCar. But I clearly remember that he was going through the Indy ladder, and then money dried up or whatever. Or I don't know if his acting career kept booming. But it's cool to see him, racing in the trucks now.
Oh, Jamie Little, our reporter from Pit Road.
Jamie Little.
G1. I found a list here. Josh Brolin. He won.
Brolin.
Yeah. Let's see. Donnie Osmond. Yes. Stephen Baldwin. Jason Bateman, Lorenzo Lamas, the one of the sexiest winner of them all, right there. Lorenzo Lamas, Ted Nugent, Uncle Ted won. Oh, you can't believe it. Gene Hackman, the coach.
Yeah, Gene Hackman. He another fact about him actually. Now you mention his name, he took part in the. I can't remember what year it was. He took part in the 24 Hours of Daytona.
He was looking at a minority ownership stake in a team at one point, and I know he was at one of the Michigan 500s during the kart broadcast, and they put him on the air. But yeah, Coach Dale, man, that was back in 1980. Yeah. Oh, we got coming to pit road. Who is that? At Hilgard?
It's Kevin Desnoyers.
So this is a scheduled stop. He went 25 laps on this stint here.
Yeah, I think Hildgard and some of the other Fiercely Forward guys are gonna start coming in soon, probably next time by, because they were pitted at they had pitted at the same time. So yeah, maybe they are able to squeeze another lap out of it. But the strategies are kind of unfolding right now. We'll see which one is better. I still think that Peter Berryman has a great shot at it.
Ricky Schroeder from Silver Spoons, he won the race.
Oh my God, no way.
Yes. 1989. He was still pretty young then.
Oh, you guys are making me feel.
I know that I'm old, so I'm just embracing it now.
Adam Carolla, he won.
Oh, Adam Carolla, I can't. Yeah, I recognise the name, but I can't remember where from.
He was the Man Show. Him and who was he in the Man Show with? But they're both like dynamically opposed politically now. But back in the Man Show, they apparently agreed on just drinking beer and talking about women. So I guess if you find common ground, build on it, right?
That's very true. Yeah, there's one series I wish they would bring back, is the talking about celebrity races, or I guess not a celebrity series as such as the iRock series that they used to do for like drivers from various or different series.
iRock was the best.
But basically, they were for anyone that's watching thinking, what's IROC? It used to be a
International Race of Champions. That's what IROC stands for.
And
it was the best.
They used to race on ovals and do some races on road courses. It was a bit of a mixture.
So IROC originally started with Porsches, and it was kind of a diverse schedule of road courses and ovals. Then the manufacturers got involved, and that's where Chevrolet came in with the Camaros. And so if you ever heard someone in the 80s saying they had an IROC Camaro, well, that back in the 80s, that was like frickin' hot right there. If you had an IROC Camaro, you were the bomb. That was like next to Burt Reynolds and you having a black Trans Am with the gold eagle on the hood. So that's
it still looks awesome. I mean,
it does.
I would happily drive an IROC Camaro.
It was like the IROC Z28 Camaro back in the day. And IndyCar used to be that their drivers used to command the series. I mean, it would be Foyt, Unser, Al Unser Sr., Johnny Rutherford, Bobby Unser, Gordon Johncock, Mario Andretti. The all-time greats would go to this series, and they would whoop up on the Winston Cup drivers big time. And then there was a time that everything kind of, as the 90s developed and we got into the split and things happened, then all of a sudden it became a NASCAR-centric sport, and it would only race at as a support race to NASCAR events. And after a while, the IndyCar guys got lucky if they even won a race. I think Eddie Cheever got really lucky one time, and he won a race, edging out Dale Earnhardt Sr. I think it was 98 when 98, 99 when he won that race. But IndyCar drivers, I think IndyCar drivers at that point just really, if rarely, ever got a sniff of the victory, because it became so NASCAR-esque in the way that everything was approached that if you got lucky, that's kind of what it took back in the day. And then it kind of went away. And there was talk about bringing it back. And if they do bring it back, I do want to see IndyCar drivers involved, but I do want to see diverse circuits. I don't want to see them always going, Talladega weekend, Daytona weekend at Michigan when the Cup Series there, and some other race to support a Cup Series. Have them run the support maybe at Long Beach. Have them run the support maybe at Gateway or Iowa. Some of our more better attended races.
Yep. There was a little bit of an incident there for Aiden Matthias, right in front of Sam Carosella. He lost it entering turn 11. Luckily, no damage, nothing, but I can imagine being a little afraid. I was just watching Sam because he's being caught by Nathan Moore. And
there it is.
That's always a little terrifying with the car in front of you. That's a couple laps down, goes for a spin.
And that is right behind him is Nick. Yeah, it's Nick. So let's watch from Nick's point of view here as we go through the corner. Yeah, he got way too much of the curbs, especially at the lightest point the car is, and it just comes right around, and Nick stays to the inside, gets on by. But yeah, a borderline Code Brown moment there at one of the slowest portions out of the track, though.
Yeah, I guess that's the silver lining. It gives you a little bit more time to react.
You got to watch those bumps. I mean, they will disrupt the car. Keep in mind the car itself is just a few inches off the ground. I mean, if you were to do a cutaway, and I've seen the Fox cutaway before, notice on the Fox cutaway that when they do that, they show you the side cut and where the driver sits in the cockpit. His rear end is only a few inches off the ground. Yeah. If you were to measure it, really, it's there's not much clearance there, but on the bottom of these cars.
No, there is not at all. And I would say that another thing that has been developing throughout the entire race, and that typically is not that noticeable, is although Jaden Munoz is calling in that he's pitting, here comes for his second pit stop of the day. But I was going to be talking about the marbles, and as the race develops, you're seeing that they start accumulating more and more and more and more, and now they actually have impact on the performance. You can't just go where the marbles are because you can spin out, and maybe that's also what happened to who was it? Oh, Aiden Mateus. So
Munoz.
The track changes.
Pit road. Question in chat from Maddie. Wants to know what the time loss on pit road is. And that is the delta on pit road is right around 40 to 41 seconds, give or take. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's gonna be probably around 45 for the most part, like right in the middle of that. That includes all your pit stop and whatnot. So now Berryman retakes the lead. And we're not going to see him pit until lap 60-61. We'll see if the other guys that were with him in that strategy are able to keep up. That's Kevin Burrell. Who else was it? Thomas Milsonen, but he's going to be short. Nathan Moore was one of those that pitted on lap 30 on the dot. And Dylan Freckleton. So we'll see what happens. Those are the guys that are off, off that prime strategy that we call Gary. But I think it's gonna be advantageous for them.
Getting to the halfway point, just a lap or so away from that. Moving right along, no full course cautions make these things go a little bit faster.
Oh, imagine if we had full course cautions. Although that incident we had at the beginning of the race,
that would have been 100% a full course, and then, actually that was. Yes. I'm surprised I'm surprised that didn't cause an iRacing full course caution. That was pretty big.
I don't think anything does on the road cars, unless you throw them manually on a league race. But that should have warranted one.
Right. Berryman, your leader. He's on that two-stop strategy. Jaden Munoz rejoins in second. That's how big the lead these two had. Thomas Mustanen, there he is. He is in third, and he pitted on lap 29. He is on the border of the two-stop strategy. He might have to save on one of these final stints of his. It'll be best if he saves in this stint. Otherwise, in his next stint, he'll have to save 2 laps. He might just need to save 1 on this one. It's probably easier to do it that way instead of doing 2 at the end, especially if you're fighting for a position.
Yeah, but I don't see how you save 2 laps at Long Beach, honestly. So if you didn't make 30 on the very first stint, you have to bail on that strategy because you're not making it. You're gonna maybe have to do a quick super short field right at the end, splash and dash, but there is absolutely no way that you can make it.
I've seen some pretty miraculous fuel saves here. Scott Dixon races not included. We did a top split race here back when Indy Fixed would show up at 1 or 2 road courses a season. Now it's known as the Indy Oval Series. And Casey Kerwin did a no-stopper here. I don't know how he did it, but he did it, and he waxed the field while doing it. So right. Somehow there are places you can save fuel around here, but you need to be Peter Berryman, Casey Kerwin level in order to figure it out.
Yeah, no, for sure. Although I do hear Mustanen is pulling in the clutch and trying to save that fuel.
Let's ride with him.
The corner.
Oh yeah, very early clutch in the braking zone there for 8.
Yeah, he's trying to make up for it. Again, I don't know if that's going to be enough, but maybe he does.
That was 9. Sorry.
Not a single input on the engine there and throughout the hairpin. Interesting.
Listen again as he goes down the front straight. As you see in the sidewalls of the tire, that's the he's on the Waiuli tire. Oh yeah, he is clutching and coasting before the braking zone.
Clutch goes in again there. So heavy saving. I think he's gonna do it here in 7 again. But he doesn't do it in 8 either. But we heard for the most part he's trying his hardest to save as much as possible. There he goes again.
Yeah.
And let's see if he does it again on the hairpin. Last time by, he didn't press the... Yeah, there we go. Silence. Throughout the entire sequence of the hairpin. So no input of the throttle throughout it all. I'm sure that saves, a couple... Well, maybe liters throughout the course of a stint. So, good for him.
You could hear right there as he got to the braking zone. Yeah, you could hear the engine kind of go off song when he got to the braking zone there going into 1. Currently 9 drivers on the lead lap. Last car on the lead lap at the moment is Christian Hilgard. He's up 17 spots to 9th. He started at the rear of the field. Not sure what if he had a bad qual or he just wanted the challenge of starting at the rear.
I was checking to see what happened to Christian, and I think he might have clipped the wall a couple of times, because I did see next to his day he did have 2 incidents, so it looks like he might have just clipped the wall when he's on both qualifying laps.
Fiercely forward cars still in 4th, 5th, 6th, 9th, and 10th. Luis Nunez is in 10th. He had an early pit stop. He made contact with the, I think it's the turn 1 wall, turn 1 tire barrier that kind of sticks out there a little bit. Same thing that kind of caught Bill Krause. And he had to come to pit road for an earlier stop by about 2 laps longer than I think he wanted to. So he might need to save here on these next couple of stints in order to make it without an extra splash at the end. We'll see. He's in 10th right now. He is the first car 1 lap down. 18 cars still running. Started with 27.
So here's one interesting tidbit that I just saw. Peter Berryman last time was a 107.61. Jaden Munoz's was a 107.68. I'm sure that Jaden had a little bit of traffic or something, but still, Berryman was faster. Right now, 107.54 for Berryman this last time by. Let's see Munoz's time. 107.55. He's keeping pace. It's exactly the same thing. And we know that Berryman only needs to pit once more. But guess what? Jaden Munoz is in the same boat. He needs to pit. So I think that's a little bit of advantage to Berryman because there's a 10-second difference between both of them. We'll see. I mean, the difference is Berryman needs to save, right? Jaden doesn't. So it's going to come down to the wire, I think. It's a bit of a long-term strategy here.
Battle for 6th and 7th, actually 5th and 6th. This is Sam Carasala and Nathan Moore. Battle of the two E-squads right now. Fiercely Forward and Williams eSports.
I think Moore has been a little faster than Carasala the last couple of laps, but I don't think it's going to go.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to go for a move because I think right now he's happy to just hang behind Carasala and get that benefit from the draft from him, because he's in that same exact strategy as Peter Berman is. He went to the pits at lap 30. He wants to extend this as much as he can. I'm sure that right now he's lifting. There he goes. He's lifting way before getting to the braking zone. So I'm sure that he's just content of riding behind Carasala.
Well, they got traffic in front of him too. Yeah, here he goes to pit road for Carasala. So scheduled stop for Carasala at lap coming to 50. He has gone 21 laps on this current stint. He went 27 on his first one. So this should be not his final stop. He'll do one more after this, but it'll be very close to the end.
Yep.
And on light tanks, a chance to do some Red Bull laps.
Last time by Peter Berryman, 107.57. Jaden Munoz, 107.58. So they're matching and the exact same lap time. That's crazy.
Here are the points coming into the round. Kevin Burrell is your points leader. Nathan Moore second, and a name we had not seen in the top split in my recollection. It's Connor Parisi. I'm hopefully saying that right. He is third.
Paris.
Jade Moon. How you say it?
Paris.
Okay, he is third. Jaden Munoz fourth. Ethan Morris is in fifth. Then we have Alex Vandersand, Hamilton, Will Lyon, Alan Berteau, and Kelly Dahl. That is your top 10. Still very early in the IIS season. So a lot of movement can still be made here. And also still another race to go this weekend on Sunday. So there could be a bigger strength of field. So far, this is the biggest strength of field this weekend. I believe today we did I can find it here. There was a 44.52 on Wednesday, a 36.80 on Friday afternoon, a 48.91, which is pretty impressive. Almost a 5K. Anytime you start knocking around the 5K neighborhood with IndyCar, you know you're in some very rarefied air. 48.91 today.
Which is crazy high. But, like we said at the top of the show, we have a lot of heavy hitters up here. And, they're showcasing why their cars number 1 and 2. Peter Berman is number 2, 9,300 I rating. Jaden Munoz, 9,500. So,
And
they know what they're doing, kind of.
And we had a pro license in this race for a while, too. So, I mean, that's a no-slouch license as well. 8,100
for Phil Krause, who unfortunately had that incident in lap 1. Luis Nunez, 7,100. Kevin Burrell, 7,300. Nathan Moore, 8,600. It's crazy stacked.
Hey, regardless of your I rating, if you're in the line for some gloves, shoes, or sim racing apparel, you need to check out the guys at 4D Racewear. Visit them today at 4dracewear.com or click on the link in today's description. They are the sponsors of the Saturday Top Splits. I want to thank them again for coming on board. 4D Racewear, shoes, gloves, and apparel for your sim racing efforts. 53 of 90 in the books. I thank everybody for joining us. Make sure to smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on future P1 iRacing broadcasts. And we have ourselves a doozy tomorrow at 7:50 p.m. Eastern Time, the Vote of Indy Oval Series with a winner-take-all championship situation at Indianapolis. Whoever finishes higher out of the top 2 in points is going to win that championship. So want to check that out. That's going to be between Edson Santos and Kyle Clinsworth. That's tomorrow, 7:50 p.m. Eastern Time. Vote of Indy Oval Series finale at Indianapolis. And also next week, doubleheader Monday. Mark and Clindy will call the action for the Open Series at Phillip Island for Week 5 of the Open Series Championship. And then ISRA Week 2 will be LGN and I calling the action later that night from Round 2 at Milwaukee. That is a Monday doubleheader. So a big week next week on P1 and the associated P1 group of things we do, including Thursday night also. Me and LGN will be calling the action of the Elite Racing League on the Elite Racing Network channel as they go to Atlanta for a bit of anytime IndyCars go to Atlanta, it's going to be an interesting time. But speaking of Atlanta, we do have a doubleheader on Tuesday as IndyCars visit Plate Atlanta.
Oh, no.
Are you ready for that?
I'm not.
8:15 p.m. Eastern time on Tuesday, doubleheader, Meme Race Madness for the Oval Series as we go to at Plate Atlanta for the IndyCars, a combination that will never be seen in the real world, and rightfully so.
Yeah, no, that's good that it's not. I mean, I guess the only thing is that it doesn't race that much as a play track. I mean, it does for a while, but then it kind of, tires do matter a little bit, so it spreads out. Not a lot, but it does.
I'm hearing the rumor that Kansas might receive that same treatment, and if they do, I don't think IndyCar will ever return to Kansas, but that will ruin that place for me.
That place is a great oval. I do wish that IndyCar found a way to go back, but if they do that same dumb thing, well, I mean, I guess if it brings in money, that's why they would do it, but they're killing my ovals, man.
Currently, really no close battles on the racetrack right now. Closest one now is kind of developing right now, as you see on your screen, between teammates Kevin Desnoyers and Christian Hilgard. This is the closest battle for position on the racetrack of the remaining cars that are running. We had 18 cars still running out there. This is a battle for sixth.
Yeah, something must have happened to Desnoyers because he was a couple seconds in front of Hilgard a lap or so ago. And now they have, they caught with each other. They also have Peter Berman right behind him, so we'll see how that goes. And to do a quick recap, your leader right now, it's Peter Berman. He has an 11-second lead over Jaden Munoz. Third goes a little bit of a swap. Desnoyers letting Hilgard by. That was for
good spot. Yeah,
sixth.
Good teamwork there.
Yeah, if you're going a little faster, go for it. So then it's Jaden Munoz running second, 11 seconds behind. Thomas Munson, and he is third, 24 seconds behind. So realistically, the battle for the win is between Munoz and Berman. We have one pit stop remaining for everybody. Then running fourth is Kevin Burrell. He's 27 seconds back. I think he can't really attack Mustanen that much because he needs to save. He's also in that two-stop strategy, so he kind of needs to chill and hope that Mustanen cannot make it. Running fifth is Nathan Moore. He's 50 seconds behind Berman. Also on that two-stop strategy, we'll see if that pays off for him as Mustanen comes into the pits right now. Taldia, he was not going to be able to make it. There's no way that you can extend it anymore. Right on cue, lap 57 for him. He's going to have another pit stop to go. And then running sixth is Christian Hilgard, seventh Kevin Desnoyers, both of them a minute, more than a minute behind the leader. Actually, the leader is right behind him.
No, the leader is right by. Here we go. There you see the leader right there.
Yeah. And then we have Luis Nunez running eight. He had that incident.
Nick Sadiq. Something happened to Nick.
Let's see if I can
he's blinking.
Oh. Yeah.
Don't blink out, Nick.
He's fine. Yeah, he's fine, but there's some smoke did appear on screen.
He is. He doesn't want me to say this, but he is currently in the lead of the Open Series points. Nick Sadiq.
There we go. Good for Nick. That's very tough to do.
And Nick will join us on our Tuesday night doubleheader Meme Race Madness at Atlanta on the broadcast as well.
That's great. No, I mean he's great. No, he's great.
He's good in the booth, but I know how you feel about meme races. You're like, that's great. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is, but I think it's morbid curiosity. But anytime that we have IndyCar Oval Series races at Daytona and Talladega, iRacing Super Speedway, and to a lesser extent at Plate Atlanta, we always do the double headers because we always get more eyeballs watching those. I'm sure there's somewhere out there in the world going, why doesn't IndyCars race at Talladega? And they type in IndyCar at Talladega and they come across one of our streams and they start watching it and they're like, oh, that's why IndyCars don't race at Talladega. Okay.
That explains things.
I'll be honest. I do like a good meme race from time to time.
I mean, it's no Arca Breaks quality, but still.
It's a lot of fun. I'm gonna say that. It's just that they're a meme for a reason.
Current conditions right now: 73 degrees on the ambient, 108 on the track temp. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I've done decent in the last couple of meme races. I think I got a podium at Talladega. It didn't go well for me at IRSS, which it's whatever. It's just luck of the draw. So it's like, okay, well, it didn't go great. Sure. Mustanen trying to make
Hilgard,
his way by Frickleton.
Yeah, and Hilgard right behind him. This is a battle for position. So Hilgard's run him down because. Oh, and he just sends it in there because he did not want to get caught behind Freckleton. He gets on by, but he wants to keep the heat on Mustanen. They're all both on push to pass down the straight. And Mustanen's trying to save.
I don't think Mustanen needs to save anymore. I think he needs to go full push because otherwise Hilgard is going to be able to pounce here. They both need to pit again. Hilgard pretty soon because he last went into the pits lap 36, so he's due right about now. Carousel just went in last time by, so yeah, I can't imagine that he wants to get by to see if he can then, after Mustanen comes to do his last pit stop in 25 laps, if he's able to jump him, but we'll see.
The push-to-pass situation, 102 for Berryman, 102 for Munoz. I'm surprised at Berryman at 102. That's a lot more than I thought he would use at this point.
I don't know how he's doing it, man. He just went into the pits, lap 60, just like clockwork. There he is. What we were expecting. That was his last pit stop from what we were seeing.
Left front wing plane in plate. Is scuffed. Now it's fixed. So he is back, and he is going on the, looks like he's going on the Waiuli tires. Did I see that on Waiulis? Yes, he has gone to the Waiuli. So he's got to make these Waiulis last 30 laps. That is an awful big ask.
Yeah, and it was a 10-second pit stop for him. That tank was dry. really, really dry. But we'll see where things shake out. Now we have Berryman, and Munoz is going to need to pit in probably 10-ish laps. And that's going to be a full-on race, no more strategy.
Munoz pitted in his second stint, 21 laps into it. He's 18 laps into his current stint. So at the very least, we expect another 3 more laps out of him for this stint. And he should come then the window really will be looking to open for him to come to pit road. He is your leader now. And again, the update on the push-to-pass situation, Munoz with 92, Berryman with 102, Mustanen with 134, Hilgard 121, Desnoyers with 143. Freckleton back in 10th spot. Did he map the button? He hasn't even touched any of it. He's at 200. Same thing with Pally Bay. And, we joke about it, but that is legit. Some people have different button mappings for ovals versus road courses, and one of the things you need to map for the road course that of course you don't need to map for an oval is push to pass.
Yeah, no, I've done it.
I've done it too.
No shame.
Or if you're in the DW12 and you forget to map the tear-off button. Oof.
Oh, I've done that so many times with many open wheel cars, and after a while, it's like I cannot see anything.
You're clear of the dot on your left, and you're clear of the smudge on your right.
Yeah, I've done that in oval races before. Before the latest version of the.
Sam Carousala meatball. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
That's okay.
Sam Carousala meatball. Not sure what happened.
4 laps ago, so that's why he went into the pits. He might have had an issue with the wall, probably. Remember, I mean, we haven't even talked about that, but this is a really rough racetrack to race at. As pretty much every single street circuit, a single mistake and you're done, because the mistake means you're in the wall. So kudos to these guys. They have done an incredible job of keeping it on track and going really, really fast at it. Unfortunate for Sam Carousala, who was having a really good race. He was up in the top 6, top 7 all day. Unfortunately,
see what happens here. He goes through. Okay, we're coming up to 4 and 5. Oh, he caught the curbs. Well, no. We'll continue watching to see what happens. This is one of our kind of been hanging in the top 10 all day today, so this would be news to see what happened.
Also, this Noyers just went into the pits.
Oh, he missed the turn into what is that? Let's get the track map up. I forget. That is turn 6 turn 6, and he got up into the marbles. And you talked about it earlier. The marbles offline are starting to get bad.
Yeah, that's oh no. Yeah, I can see that now. Well, that's
I'm sure Sam really appreciated me picking that apart for him, but hey, there's not much else going on the racetrack. We got Munoz and Berryman dominating this thing.
Yeah.
It looks like we've got Hildgaard into the pits as well.
Scheduled stopped. He's down off the pneumatic jacks, down and away. He's on the Yuli tires to finish this out. Nathan Moore on the front stretch on push to pass. Sees an opportunity to get by Hildgaard on the front stretch. Uses the push to pass button.
I don't know how Berryman is making this work. I mean, he's saving, right? And he just went and did a 106.93, right now 107.10. But last time, he was the fastest car on track by quite a big margin. So, he's doing an incredible job. And, we know that right now he's 24 seconds behind Jaden. Jaden needs to pit. So, that's definitely advantage to Peter Berryman.
Well, maybe Scott Dixon should pick up some tips here from Peter Berryman. And in front of Berryman is Christian Hildgaard. Christian is down a lap. Only the top 4 now on the lead lap. Again, I believe IndyCar qualifying for real is still going on, so no spoilers, please. We will go and watch on our own here when we're done with the race. Everyone's been fairly well behaved. Next race for us here, we got a couple weeks off, and then we go to Barber. That will be a special Wednesday edition. Ooh, in the getting backed up there in the fountain area.
Yeah, that was Aiden Matthijs, who has had a rough race today. He's still going at it. He's 7 laps down, running P18. He's going to pass Carousala now that had that incident.
Now this is
so
one of those.
You have 17 cars running.
This is his own version of Drive to Survive. Hey man, there's nothing wrong with that strategy. Sometimes it's you and the racetrack. That's your worst enemy right there.
100%. And like we were talking about, this track is rough. I mean, there is no margin for error. After that, it's a long race, and you don't have any brakes, right? Like typically, in the real IndyCar series, you're gonna have the caution here and there at some point. Well, not necessarily, but historically it does happen. Since we don't really have any cautions here, there is no brakes. You have to go and do the 9 laps in one shot. So that's mentally tiring as well.
90 laps is a long race. The murder race, I think, on the schedule for when you do with the lap count, I think Laguna Seca is the murder race. That's
How many of that?
I think that's right around 90 as well.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh god.
That's gonna be rough.
Yeah, Laguna. If you don't think you get a break around Long Beach, Laguna Seca is probably 10 times worse for not getting a break.
Yeah. At least you have, control and drive here. The main stretch is a little bit of a break.
Laguna Seca broadcasts are always a challenge because it's the start, and then that's when everyone wrecks, right? Because they either didn't get enough practice in, or they get collected by someone that didn't have enough practice in. Okay, and then the field thins, and then basically you spend the next 80 laps talking about Alex Zanardi passing Brian Herta and the corkscrew. And then you spend the next 10 laps talking about how it's a miracle the guy that's getting ready to win the race has survived this long and is getting ready to win the race. And then the race ends. So that's kind of a broadcast at Laguna Seca.
Yeah, it's a very, very difficult, hard track to pass at. I mean, here at least we talk about those two passing zones, turn 9 and turn 1. And you can also make it work at turn 8 and some other locations, even turn 5, which, it's crazy dangerous, but you can potentially do it. Laguna, I love the track for hot lapping, but it's tough.
It's turn 1 at Laguna and turn 5, and then only if you're Zanardi, you send it into the corkscrew, and those are about your passing zones at Laguna Seca.
or Grosjean. Grosjean did a great job.
With a little bit more shoulder.
Yeah, a little bit more shoulder.
It's
into the pit.
It's like Jimmy's used to rubbing and racing, so I don't know what his problem was with it.
He shouldn't have a problem.
Nick Sudik into the pits there.
Bergman retakes the lead. He now is clear by 12 seconds over Jaden Munoz. Stanen is third. Like you said, Nick Sudik went into the pits. That's his last pit stop. Let me go through the field, see where they pit last. Peter Bergman last pit, lap 60. That was his last pit stop of the race. Jaden Munoz, lap 68, of course, last pit stop of the race. Thomas Mussinen, lap 56. He's going to need to pit again, at least a splash and dash. Kevin Burrell and Nathan Moore both lap 60, so they're good to go to the end of the race. Hilgard, 63. Luis Nunez, 62. Nick Sudik, 61. No, 67, I'm sorry. The Snoyers, I skipped him. The Snoyers, 62. They're all good to go. All that fiercely forceful crew that is together on track. Well, they're good to go to the end. So I guess only Mustanen has to pit here.
Yeah, he is 12 laps into his stint right now, so he still needs one more to go. But he did. Mustanen did pit at lap 57, so it's going to be tight to get to the end for him. He's going to really have to save. We've rode with him before. We heard him saving before.
I forgot to mention Kevin Parrish, Jake Vasconcelos, and Dylan Freckleton. Parrish and Vasconcelos, they need to pit. Went into the pit lap 52 and 48 respectively. Dylan Freckleton, he's good to go to the end. Last pit lap 60. So and he's a lap down, so that also helps with his fuel mileage.
Berryman, Munoz, Mustanen, Burrell, Moore, your top 5. Your biggest gainer of the day, Christian Hilgard. He is back on the lead lap in 6th. He's up 20 spots. Kevin Parrish just cracking into the top 10. He's up 13. Aguilos Vetros, hopefully saying that right. He's up 12 spots in 13th. Logan Edwards up 10 spots to 14th. Those are your big gainers today. Mustana Pit Road, final stop.
Yeah, we knew he had to come in. I'm sure that it's going to be a super short field, but that's still going to be a loss of 40, around 40 seconds on the entire sequence. Let's see how long it
Wiley
takes.
tires up on the jacks, down off the jacks. New set of tires, enough fuel to the finish, whatever that might be. And he is down and away.
Yeah, he went. Burrell went by, Moore went by, Hilger went by. I guess Wilson is a little close to Hildegard, but also Berman went by, so well, I think that's going to be it for him. I wouldn't, try
Mustanen's down a lap,
leader.
so he's down a lap
Yep.
right now. So the battle is right behind him, not too far away. Kevin Desnoyers in about 4 seconds. And that is not Desnoyers right behind him. That is that is Sam Carasala back in 17th spot. So he's been repaired. And now he's just making laps to try to get Pally Bay showing a meatball on pit road. Not sure what happened to Pally, but in the Toyota livery. But looks like their day is prematurely done. They are out of the car at the moment.
Let's see, lap 16.
And they've been in the pits for about 4 minutes.
Oh, big hit up of turn 8. Lap 66. Got into the marbles.
If you're just joining us, you're watching coverage of round 3 of 16 of the IIS Saturday Top Split presented by 4D Racewear. Coming to you from the streets of Long Beach. We have now completed, we're on lap 73 of 90. If you enjoyed today's coverage, like to monetarily support our broadcast team, make sure you donate via our GoFundMe link. The link is in the description, and we certainly would appreciate it. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. I've noticed a new thing with with YouTube. The number of times I say subscribe, and you have not subscribed to the channel already, the subscribe button on your screen supposedly glows. So subscribe. We're less. Yes, and subscribe again. We're getting very close to 1,000 subscribers. So if you have not done so already, approximately about 4 out of every 10 of you have not. So just change that. Subscribe. If you can't find that button, I'll just say the word one more time. Subscribe and push that button, and we certainly would appreciate it.
We certainly will. Hey, something else that's developing here. This race ain't over yet. We still have quite a few ways to go. Lap 74 out of 90. And remember when we told you that there was a 12-second difference between Peter Berman and Jaden Munoz? Well, that is down to 9. Last time by, and the lap before as well, Berman was doing a 107.30. To Jaden Munoz's 106.6, so around 0.8 of a second per lap. That can be in the ballpark for them to be very, very close together at the end of the race. So I don't know which one of those strategies will win.
Well, Berryman's going to be on a very used set of Waiulis at the end of this thing, like an ancient set of Waiulis. Like they haven't recycled themselves; they're that old, Waiulis. And Munoz, conversely, he's on a virtual fresh set of Waiulis. He's only 6 laps into his stint, so that's why he's catching. Is that his tires are that much fresher by about 8 laps. So that might make a difference here at the end as he starts tearing into the lead a little bit. Now we're down into the 8-second area. Now just went back up to the 9-second, but in the braking zone. Munoz on push to pass on one of the straightaways.
and just got very, very lucky with it. He kind of smacked the wall, but he did it like entirely sideways, so no damage. But he's really, really pushing right now, trying to catch Peter Berryman.
As Clindy says, the cactus tires, the Waiuli tires.
Well, yeah, they are.
They're native. I believe the Waiuli plant is native or found in Mexico. You can go grab us a sample if you want to.
I will try.
No, that's you don't have to. I'm fine. I'm just
I don't even know where they are. But yeah, I mean, I heard.
It's at the Waiuli farm. Where do you think they grow them? It's at the Waiuli farm.
The Waiuli store sells them.
And go to the Waiuli store, yes.
Yeah, go
ahead, Ryan.
I was just going to say, it wouldn't surprise me if Peter's got someone on Discord with him, maybe a race engineer or a teammate, just kind of maybe not spotting for him, but just kind of just there talking in his ear, just trying to keep him calm while
he's around traffic right now.
Just keeping him calm in traffic and just kind of just talking him through, getting to the end, and just trying to relax him, because these sort of situations can't be easy, especially if you're maybe having to, like you say, having to maybe save the tires, look after the tires, and maybe having to possibly think about fuel saving ever so slightly. But I think at the moment the advantage is with Munoz, because he's not having to worry about any of that.
Right. Yeah.
And
Hildegard has caught Moore. Sorry, just behind your leader Berryman. They're going at it. Moore needs to save. Hildegard doesn't, so he's going to throw everything at him.
Now, each one of these teams you see here, Berryman with the Apex squad, Munoz with the Williams eSports squad, Burrell with Fiercely Forward squad, Nathan Moore again, eSports. Oh, Hildegard sends it into the braking zone. I thought we were going to see a little contact there. They kept it off each other, but and Hildegard too. They are all, I would classify them as super teams, and they are more than likely working with each other. Teammates, he just sends it in there. Great pass, but it's not in a good spot now. He needs to stay there in the marbles, in the braking zone, in the hairpin, and he forces Moore out wide, and he gets the position. Great. And Thomas Mustanen is now sneaking into this battle as well. So let's not discount him. He might be actually working alone. I don't know. Their team is kind of partnered with Team Watson. And as recently as the latest classic IndyCar season, so they might have someone working in their channels with them too. But a lot of these teams, and it's fair, it is completely fair. You might not think it's fair, but they might have a member of their team as a designated engineer that's crunching the numbers and running the math for them and everything. And that just allows the driver to focus on doing driver things. I don't have to worry about doing math in my head. I don't have to worry about asking Alexa or Siri to do some calculations while I'm trying to drive in the background. It just allows me to drive. And then also they'll take care of little things for me. Like when I come to pit road, they'll make sure they'll check that box for the alternate compound, or uncheck the box for the alternate compound, or add just enough fuel. I don't need a full tank. Give me 3/4 of a tank. That will get me home. They'll take care of all this stuff. So if you think that's an unfair advantage, that is completely fair. And if you want to up your game in IndyCar racing, get someone to help you in the booth.
It's a game changer to have somebody in your ear, keeping you calm, letting you know where things are developing, who is doing what on track, so that you don't have to start making up things in your head, because that happens. Oh, he's faster. Whoa, maybe he's doing this or that, or maybe I'm messing up in whatever corner. You don't have all that information, but if you have somebody that's spotting for you or acting as an engineer, that helps tremendously. And to call strategy, like you said, please don't make me, whenever I try to make math while I'm driving, it's like I'm back to being a toddler. I'm stupid. I'm like, I cannot add. I'm like, I don't know, 5 and 4. What is that? I don't know.
Carry the 1. Move the decimal.
I become so dumb because you're focused on trying to drive, right? And if you lose that concentration, that also makes you slower. So yeah, whenever you're able to have a team spotting for you, that's much better. Mustanen is really, really closing in on Nathan Moore. And
Yep.
remember, Moore needs to still save a little bit in order to make it. And to your point, Ryan, of Peter Berryman probably having somebody there talking to him, I'm sure of it, because a couple of laps before, he kind of picked up pace, went to 106s. Right now, they're both, again, in kind of the same vicinity. 107.25 for Berryman, 107.19 for Munoz, so realistically not a lot of gain. The difference between them right now, 7.5 seconds, with 11 laps to go. I think that's starting to become a very, looking like an insurmountable lead right now. We'll see. Jalen, I'm sure he's going to be trying to do all the tricks in his that he has in order to catch with Peter, and we might still be having an exciting finish of the race. Plus, Bergman still needs to save, so we don't know, right?
This is a long race, and there's a quote that Hint said one time that I constantly keep coming up, because even though you're not in an actual race car, you're in a virtual car, but you have the force feedback fighting you, you're the heat that your computer puts off, the effort that you're putting into racing. I mean, you can work yourself out pretty good in a long race. This is 90 laps, and he said, when the body fades, the mind fails. And so that's what you have in these late stages of the race. When the body begins to fade, the mind fails, and you miss your braking zone. You go long. You're into the wall. You're into the tire barrier. Day done. 10 laps from the end. You don't want that to happen. So it's nice having someone on the channel with you, giving you encouragement, telling you to stay focused, hit your marks, and they'll take care of the numbers for you. All you have to do is drive. 10 laps to go here at the beach. Peter Berryman, your leader, but that lead's been chomped into just a little bit.
Let's see. Last time by 107.32 for Berryman. Jaden Munoz across the line right now. He does a 107.31, so virtually the same lap time. That's really great news for Berryman, who's going to be very happy to hear that from his team. And now Mustanen is getting closer and closer to Moore. That battle keeps.
Yeah, we're not gonna. We're gonna stay on this one. We're gonna stay on this one. Now, interesting enough, right in front of him is Nathan Moore, and that is a teammate to.
Munoz.
We got Moore, then Mustanen, and then. Right behind him, I'm trying to explain something. I'm lost my train of thought. Okay, so that is Munoz. So does Moore make things a little bit more difficult for Mustanen, so so Munoz can get around? Do teammates help each other here, or does? Because I would imagine Mustanen does not want to give up any pace to allow Munoz by, because then he loses touch with Moore late in the race, and you don't want to do that.
But here goes Munoz. He's going to send it.
Okay, now he just needs to get to the attenuator of Moore, and then Moore will probably let him go.
Yeah. Munoz lost 3/10 being behind this group last lap.
Only 3 cars left on the lead lap. It's Berryman, Munoz, and Burrell now. Burrell is about 15 seconds or so from going down a lap. I don't know if he will be caught before this race ends, and 8 laps from now.
It's interesting that Moore didn't get out of the way. I thought he was gone.
There's not very many places to hide, and he also doesn't want to give up time to Mustanen, who might catch him. So you gotta dance on a thin line here of being fair to your teammate. Here comes Munoz to the inside. There you see Moore staying out wide. Now he's going to slam the door. Boom, right there. And now we're back to racing for position as the leader gets on by, or P2 gets on by. Hey, today's coverage brought to you by 4D Racewear. Check out their line for made of sim racing gloves, shoes, and apparel. Visit them today at 4dracewear.com or click on their link in the stream description. I want to thank them for being the sponsors of our Saturday IIS broadcasts, or actually all of our broadcasts, no matter what day they're on. Next Race for X actually will be on a Wednesday. I'm not sure who all will be in the booth with me, but it'll definitely be me. That's a school night for Ryan. I'm not sure if he'll be there with us, but he's got to get up early for work the next day. So, us working folk.
I mean, if someone wants to cover for me at work, I'd be happy to step in.
But I'll be here.
We might have Clindy with us on that one. I don't know. Or it might be Jacob Collins. We'll see. One of the Rogue Racing guys, I think, is going to be with us for that broadcast. 6 to go here at the beach. Make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. Hey, December, P1 Broadcasting becomes a prime time home for happy hour at the Brickyard, your nightly destination for all the action leading up to the highly prestigious PRI Hoosier 500. It's the former Open Wheels 500, if you guys remember that. The last kiss of the bricks for 2025 will start right here at P1. The countdown is on, so pucker up and don't miss a second of the action. Like, share, and subscribe to stay locked in, and we'll see everybody in December for the PRI Hoosier 500 right here on P1 Broadcasting. Also later this year, P1 Broadcasting is excited to announce a brand new crown jewel level event for the iRacing IndyCar community. We're going to do a 600-kilometer event at Michigan International Speedway, June 7th in 2025. It's an all-star invite-only roster of the iRacing IndyCar community that will take the grid, competing for over $250. I think we're getting almost up to $300 in prizes. So stay tuned for more detail. I believe invites are starting to go out. Entry applications might also be out at sometime as well. June 7th at Michigan will be a race to remember. Keep your eyes open for it. I will be also here on P1. So a busy year still ahead for us. Not just these NTT IndyCar Racing or iRacing IIS races that we'll be bringing you action of, but the fixed Indy 500, open Indy 500, the PRI Hoosier 500 as Munoz bouncing on the curbs, almost loses it a little bit, and the as we call it, the P1 600 at Michigan.
Man, really looking forward to both of those events. They're going to be great.
Yeah, when it comes to IndyCar, my favorite race all the time is you probably know where I'm going with this. My favorite race in IndyCar, being it in the special events or any sort of league racing, is the Indy 500. It's just one of those events that gives me that
You're an Indy 500 winner. You won in the major series, right? But it was in the IRO 1, but it was still the Indy 500. They called it the Indy 500.
Yeah, even before that, I just enjoy racing around the place. It's just something special about it. I don't know if it's the build-up or what's in the real-life race. It's a special event for me.
There is definitely something special about that place, even virtually. I mean, it has a different aura.
You tell me. We could share common ground because we've both been to the place. Your feeling as you got to the main gate, you walk underneath the racetrack, right? And you step into the middle of this place. What was your first feeling and thought the first time you step into Indianapolis Motor Speedway? It's like almost a cathedral.
Yeah, I got goosebumps. I'm not kidding. I mean, when that happened, the place is massive. Like I was walking because I parked the car quite far away. And then you start seeing the speedway like in the distance, but it already looks huge. So it's like, okay, wow. And you could keep walking and walking and walking for 45 minutes, and you eventually get there. Then go in, and it's kind of like hallowed ground. It really does elicit like a different aura when you're there. So I don't know. I mean, it's probably due to so many historic moments that have happened at that place, and how beautiful it is as well. I mean, it's a pristine location. I don't know. It's and it brings back also memories, right? Like I was watching the Indy 500 with my dad on TV and whatnot, and being there and being like, oh, okay, well, this is what we were watching on TV. It's a very special place.
It's hard to believe it's the 40th anniversary of the Spin and Win this year.
No, you're old. I'm not old.
It's also hard to believe that Danny Sullivan is 75 years old.
What? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, no way. My best memory of Danny Sullivan was the memorable spin and win at Indy.
Yep, I remember listening to that race on the radio. Now, we still had TV at the time, folks. I'm not that old, but in Indianapolis, in order to watch the race in Indianapolis, we had a local blackout. 2 laps to go here, by the way, as we're watching Behrman. He has himself a 9-second lead. There's not much action else on the racetrack, so we're just kind of reminiscing here. In order to watch the race in Indianapolis, you had to go to the race, or you go out of the metro area, and I think there was like an hour radius, and you find a friend there, or I heard some people like before would get a hotel up in at like Lafayette or north of Lafayette or south of Bloomington, and then they would have like a conference room and they would plug a TV into, and then everyone would watch a race and have a party of it. But to watch the race, you had to go to the race. You couldn't see the race until later that night on tape delay when the ABC affiliate would show you the race in its entirety later that evening. But so in order to take part of the race, final lap, white flag in the air here for Peter Behrman, you typically got together in listen parties and listened to the IMS radio network, and you would listen to, at the time, it was Paul Page. And when Danny Sullivan spun out and in the short shoot right after passing Mario Andretti, just the whole place went nuts. It's like, oh my gosh, and then he somehow points the car forward and puts it in gear and takes back off again, and then 20 laps later pulls the same move off again and does it without spinning and gets the win. That was really unbelievable, really. And then listening to the broadcast was amazing. And then speaking of amazing, Peter Behrman off the final corner, and he puts a big hurting on the field. Winner by 9 seconds here in the top split on Saturday. He's your winner at Long Beach, and he is looking forward to a big month of May, I'm for sure, coming up here for the fixed and open Indy 500s. Peter Behrman there with one of the Apex Power Squads, your winner today. Jaden Munoz, he's going to come home second in the Williams eSport, and Kevin Burrell, the general. He still has much of a lap to go, but he is aiming to bring it home third. He's aiming to bring it home third here.
A long way to go. But man, I was watching Behrman the last couple of laps, and we were watching him throughout the race, but it's crazy how precise and how fast he is while trying to save fuel as well. And it's just amazing. What a drive! One of the best drives I've seen in a long time. Because I think Jaden had the pace, like the raw pace, honestly. But this strategy.
Yeah, and that was a two-stopper. That was a two-stop strategy. Yeah.
Yeah. Look, I can call it whenever I'm not driving, right?
For me to pull off a two-stoppers requires a miracle. For Behrman to do it, it's just his normal skill. Yeah.
No, but again, what a drive! That was so entertaining to watch. And to see that strategy actually work at the end of a very, very long race. I'm sure that Peter is pretty happy with that one. I think we have went across the line. Also, shout out to Christian Hilgard. What a drive.
Yeah.
22 spots up at Long Beach. I know that we had that, 6-7 car incident, and that surely helped. But other than that, he did it on pace. He was really, really fast. Consistently one of the only drivers in that 107 bracket for the entirety of the race. So, that's also awesome. And I'm sure that he's probably not very happy at himself because of that misqualifying. He must have had an incident, maybe scraped the wall or something like that. And, iRacing deletes that. So he had to do the that's the first challenge, and he almost did it. 22 spots, man, awesome.
All right, there you are. Peter Behrman, the winner by 10 seconds. Jaden got into it a little bit, but I think you're right. I think Peter was kind of playing with his food a little bit there. And it's like, 8 seconds, 7 seconds is enough. I'm going to go. Jaden did get caught in traffic a little bit, but he brings it home second. Still going to help him out in the points. Kevin Burrell, the general, marches to third. Christian Hilgard with the big march you've already talked about. He had the big gain of the day, 22 spots. Nathan Moore in fifth, Misanen in sixth, Desnoyers in seventh, Nunez in eighth, Sudik in ninth, and Robert Parrish, that's a basketball player. Kevin Parrish is 10th. Let's see, the Fiercely Forward squad, good Lord, third, fourth, seventh, eighth, and ninth. So half the top 10 is yellow and black.
And it was not looking that great for Luis Nunez at the beginning, but that's also very important to, even with bad circumstances, make a good day out of it. Coming home eighth, I don't think he thought that was going to be possible after hitting wall lap, whatever it was, lap 5 or so.
Freckleton, Varetos, Vasconcelos. Hopefully I'm saying that right.
There you go. That was perfect, man.
All right, man. Apparently I just need bigger letters on the screen in front of me. Fernandez, Edwards, Carsala, Matitz, Bay, Craig, and Weiser, your top 20. Jack Kent in 21st. Kraus, early out in 22nd. Rolick, Taylor, DeMay, Ukash, hopefully I'm saying that right, and Urich. Hopefully I'm saying that right as well. And 27th. That is your 27 car field. And a real drive to survive. We had 17 finish running. Started with 27. Some of those toward the back of the order, back in the 17th, 8th, 16th, 15th area. It was like, man, 90 laps couldn't have come quick enough. All right. And we'll tune out the music here and check and see who might have showed up for an interview. Kevin, you can always count on Kevin. And Jaden's there as well, so that's awesome. We'll bring up the general here, bring him into the booth. And here he is, the General Kevin Burrell, joining us to march to third. Successful P3 here today at Long Beach. Man, 90 laps. That didn't feel a bit of a marathon out there. How you feeling, first of all?
Yeah, I'm very warm and sweaty, which is crazy because I'm sitting in my boxers in an air-conditioned room at 5 a.m. So it's a lot of steering. I don't know. That was tiring, man.
Talk about your strategy out there. Looks like Lewis might have had to come to pit road early because of wall contact, but looked like part of your squad decided to make that early stop on stint 1, and you decided to go long. Was that always the plan, to kind of do split strategies?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, those guys felt better. We did some testing, and at least to me, it seemed like it's very weird because mathematically we kind of looked at it and we're like, well, the non-fuel save should be a little bit faster, and then just when I ran that first slot, what I realized is that there's, I think, maybe a bit more margin for getting held up, or it's A, more consistent, and B, you have fewer chances to come out into really horrible traffic, or just offsetting yourself from other people. It's actually maybe worth a bit more than we thought. So, we knew the other strategy wasn't really much slower. And when you're stuck behind someone, you've got to try and, the other strategy gives you a little more, not fuel saving. It gives you more chances to offset yourself where your, prime stint goes from other cars. Whereas I was just kind of locked into what I was doing. So when those guys had to pass, I mean, I think they thought, yep, we just have to try this. And for me, I kind of just knew this was the way it was going to go for me.
Well, you made it to the end, and I don't know if you still need to go to bed or not, or you're starting your day already.
I probably will. I probably will.
If people don't know, he is in Japan, so he is in an entirely different time zone that's completely foreign to a lot of us, especially when you pay attention to North America and Europe. So yeah, he's got an odd time. So we'll let him get some sleep. But before you get on out of here, we know you got shout outs, friends, family, sponsors. You got teammates, got a great team there supporting you. Go right ahead.
Yeah, of course, the guys fiercely forward. Christian and everybody put some work in on the set this week, doing some testing. P1 Docs, of course. My parents, who I know probably watching, thanks for the support. And also, I would say, this time, my fellow competitors, Peter and Jaden. I mean, it's always good to see really fast guys run the series, and I'm always looking for a benchmark, and to see guys like that just blow us out of the water. It's painful, but I love it. So it's good. Yeah, thanks.
All right, congratulations on the P3, and we'll catch you at Barber here in a couple weeks. Get some sleep.
Yeah, see you then.
Yeah. All right, and we'll bring up Jaden, if I can get him in here. Here he is. And here he is. Jaden Munoz finishing second today, and most cases, the 3-stopper is the way to go, but I guess not today. But a solid P2 is going to help you in the points championship on a really big strength of field here today. Talk about your race and deciding on that 3-stop or that 3-stop strategy. Yeah, that's what you did.
Yeah, I thought it was a pretty good race for myself. I think I maximized everything I could do. I think the 3-stop is still the faster strat. I think Peter had enough, leeway. Apex have really worked on the car really well for the Pro Series, and we're still lacking some stuff, but I think I maximized everything I could do today. But props to Peter for the win, and yeah.
Being that you guys are still kind of growing into the IndyCar ranks a little bit, and you're going against the likes of Apex, who have been in the IndyCar ranks for a long time here on the virtual sense on iRacing, and then Fiercely Forward is basically made up of a lot of regulars in the IndyCar community. Where is it, do you think, that you guys need to get sharper at in terms of with the setup or driving the car that would put you in the same bracket kind of as Berryman there towards the end of this race? So where do you think you guys were kind of lacking? Was it just a strategy call?
No, I think my strategy wasn't perfect, but I think it was the ideal strat.
I agree with you.
Stop. I think maybe I should have done the primaries on my first stop to counter him using those softs against my primaries at the I think the third stint or something. And but yeah, I think I maximized the strategy and mostly my driving today. But yeah, I think what we're lacking is something in the setup. I'm not quite sure what it is. I mean, through the Pro Series, we were struggling all season, so it was so hard to figure it out. And it's not like we're not putting much time in. I've been putting a lot of hours in trying to find something, but yeah, we haven't found the tricks yet, and I'm hoping we can find something before the Pro Series.
These setups are so tightly defined and refined that often, and this is the case in the real world, watching hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of real IndyCar races, you listen to them and they're like, we tried this one little thing and that's what unlocked the car. And that might be kind of where you guys are, is just one little tiny thing away from really unlocking the car. And I think you guys are eventually going to get there, especially with all the drivers that you bring to the table. Well, congratulations on the P2 today. I know things are just looking better and getting better for the Williams eSports squad. Any shout outs, anybody you want to say hi to, sponsors, loved ones, before we let you go?
I want to thank Williams Sim Racing, my teammate Nathan for racing, and thanks to everyone for watching and you guys for broadcasting the race.
Our pleasure. It's good to have you here as always. And we're back to another road course here in a couple of weeks at Barber. I'm sure we're going to see you there. Get your practice in. I'll be looking forward to see you and the Williams team once again on the grid here in a couple of weeks.
Yep, for sure. See y'all.
The one thing I caught out of that, guys, and I don't know if you caught it as well, it sounded like really that it kind of came down to tire choice on one stint. That was it.
Yeah, I mean, that definitely helped.
Oh,
But I
it does.
think,
You're right.
that is definitely, but I'm not sure that that's a 10 different swing, right? So I hear him, a little bit, yeah, happy for the P2, but a little bit upset. And, with that drive of we need to improve this tiny bit. And, I love that the Williams eSports guys are showing up here to IAS, getting ready for that, Bud Cricket Pro Series that's going to be starting later this year, and they're sure going to be, forced to be working with. They are here, they're putting in the work. Of course, it stings when one of these other like more, veteran teams in a way that have been here for a while and know a lot of the tricks. When they show up, well, they're going to be a little bit far away, but they were not. They were right in the money. And like you said, there are just maybe a couple of things that they need to change in the setups to be very, very competitive and right there with them. So I think that we're going to see a lot of great things out of the Williams Esports guys this year.
Joining us in the booth is Justin Petschauer, the ambassador of the iRacing, our IndyCar iRacing series. And JP, what split were you in, and how do you feel getting back in the car after kind of your time off, and how'd you do?
We were in third split, and everybody was on their best behavior early on until said person was gone.
A bit of a weapon. Apparently, there's a bit of a weapon in their split, but everyone else was well behaved.
No, what I mean by well behaved, Nim Cross was in our split.
Okay.
And ironically enough, get ready for a shocker, ladies and gentlemen. We did not, I repeat, we did not have a lap one, turn one pileup.
We didn't either. It was lap 2.
We didn't have it at all.
Well, nice.
For some damn reason, going into the arena section, going down through the downshifts early on in the race, it vapor locked into third, and I tank slapped the wall. Luckily, I missed the tire bundles, but it was about 2 minutes 14 seconds of optional repair. I was just like, you know what, the way it was feeling after the tank slapper, just get the repair job done, because there's going to be guys that are going to run themselves over, Bennett, you name it. Started 25th on the field, ran 27th for most of the race until everybody started falling out. Got up to about 15th and basically just finished there. All in all, I was kind of hoping for a better result, but as the old saying goes, your instincts kick in when you remember history and watching pileups going on lap 1, turn 1.
Mm-hmm.
And you think, oh, if I start somewhere middle of the pack or up near the front, then I'll basically get run over and sent into the wall. Other than that, yeah, I'm not kidding you. I'm sweating. 90 laps around Long Beach. It's fun, but it's a workout.
Yeah, it's a marathon out there. Also joining us in the booth, looks like we have our Monday commentator for the Open Series, Mark Murphy. He's muted though. I think he ran a race. There he is.
Yeah,
Mark, you ran a race, and which one were you in, and how'd you do?
So I was in the 4 split, so one behind Justin. Clindy was in that race with me. The P1 Road Course Toilet Bowl Trophy is now even at 1. He beat me at Sebring. I came in on top in Long Beach. So we qualified 7th, started from the pit lane. There was a massive accident, turn 1, lap 1 in our race, and just kind of steadily drove it back up through the field. Good strategy, good pace. Wound up 6th. So
top 10. Nice.
Good day for me. Clindy got cleaned out in the fountain, and Gary, he went flower shopping for you because he ended his race in the flower bed. So he wound up credited with 19th, but not too bad of a day. We were both pretty quick. I think had I taken the start, I think I probably would have run in the top 5 for sure.
All right, gentlemen. Well, congratulations on surviving, and getting through your splits. Our split, interesting race. Peter Berryman really on the two-stop strategy. That was the way to go here. Starting with you, Tony Antonio, the El Patron, the boss. Your final thoughts here from Long Beach, and then also Ryan, when he's done, your final thoughts before we move on to Barber here in a couple weeks.
Sure. I mean, I think we ended up seeing a very interesting race with the different strategies. Typically is whoever qualifies on pole, then he can just run away from everybody else, and that's it. This time by we had that difference. We had Jaden Munoz on pole, and
it started that way. You're right. Strategy. You're right. It started that way for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, and then we also had Burrell. We also had Nathan Moore. A lot of people trying out the different strategy, and that helped. We didn't see that, lap one, turn one pile up that typically happens. It did happen on lap two, but at least we were able to get by on the first lap. It was fine. What a drive by Hildgaard coming from 22 spots up of his starting position. That's crazy.
Out of 26th. Yep.
Yeah, starting 26th, ended up 4th. Crazy good day for him. And, at the end of the day, I think we saw a great race. Typically a tough place to pass at, but we saw a lot of good racing throughout the day. So, all in all, very happy with how the race developed and looking forward to what's to come in a couple of weeks at Barber.
Yeah, and looking in chat, Christian Hildgaard did check in, and he said he had a big slide on lap one during his quali, and then had to reset and then crash. So that's why he started at the back. But starting at the back might have got him out of the way of that incident going into turn one on lap two. Ryan, any final thoughts here? As we're moving on the Barber, you won't join us, but we're going to catch you at the next one. But final thoughts here at Long Beach. I know you like this place a lot.
Yeah, I love Long Beach, and always produces great racing. And even though it's hard to overtake, it still put on a good show. And I have to agree with Anthony. That they put on there was plenty of different strategies being tested out, and Peter Berryman going with the two-stop strategy, and it seemed to work for him towards the end. We thought that Jaden Munoz would have caught him really quickly, but fair play to Berryman, and he held on and took the win. But driver of the day for me would have to be Christian Hildgaard with his drive from the back, using strategy to good effect, and being awarded with a top 10 finish.
Is it almost a exact repeat of race one this weekend? Race one this week. Back on Wednesday, the top split was Berryman, Munoz, and Nathan Moore. Nathan Moore only finished 5th today, so we almost had a repeat of what we had Wednesday night. But Berryman seems to have him covered here at Long Beach this week, and got his second win of the weekend here at the beach. He finishes first, Jaden Munoz second again, but still going to be helpful in the points. And Kevin Burrell, who got a win earlier this week, back on Friday during the Friday top split, he comes home for his second podium of the weekend. He's in third. Join us again Wednesday, April 30th at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, and that's Wednesday, April 30th at 9 p.m. Eastern Time for round 4 of the 2025 campaign as the teams and drivers move to Barber Motorsports Park. Coverage begins around 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Again, that's 9:00 p.m. Eastern. Remember, it's a special Wednesday broadcast, so as always, for the correct broadcast time in your area, you can find everything on our YouTube channel right here at youtube.com/@P1 Broadcasting. Hey, we love bringing these races to you, and they're not easy. They require time and money to produce. If you share our passion for the sport of IndyCar, and heck, if you watched all 90 laps with us, you better share our passion for the sport of IndyCar and enjoyed our coverage of the IndyCar iRacing Series. Please take time to visit our GoFundMe page. The link is in the description, and donate to our 2025 broadcast fund. We realize times are tough, so any contribution will be greatly appreciated. We want to thank you for watching and make us a part of your YouTube viewing on Saturdays when we come on the air during NTT IndyCar weeks. We really appreciate you guys tuning in. Now, as you know, the YouTube algorithm game is not easy, so please help support P1 with the weekly grind. Leave a comment below. Let us know your thought on today's race, and if you enjoyed today's coverage, support us by smashing like in the video. If you're new, click subscribe. fact, I'm going to say it again because if you haven't clicked subscribe, the button's lighting up for you. So subscribe. And while you're at it, hit the bell for weekly reminders so don't miss out on more of P1's other iRacing programming, including this Sunday. Winner takes all. Vote of Indy Oval Series heads to Indianapolis for their final race of the season. It's going to come down to Clindy and Edson Santos. Someone's going to win that championship, and all it is whoever beats who, that's your winner. So
Go
coverage
Clindy.
begins at 7:50 p.m. Eastern Time. Tune in and check out the next wave of up-and-coming Indy sim racers right here on P1 Broadcasting. P1's IndyCar iRacing Series Saturday Top Split coverage is presented to you by 4D Racewear. Check out their line of made-for-sim racing gloves, shoes, and apparel. Some of the best you can buy. Visit them today at 4dracewear.com, and the link is in the description. Track cams to this race are provided by Whiplash Sim Cams. Get the most out of your iRacing experience with Whiplash Sim Cams. To learn more about Whiplash, like them on Facebook, follow them on X and Instagram. The links are in the description. For business inquiries to learn more about P1 and what we do, like us on Facebook, follow us on X and Instagram. All of our links and social links are on Linktree as well. You can check them out. Link is in the description. So for El Patron, Antonio Estrada, and Ryan Skywalker, everyone here at P1, I'm Gary Gatso saying all, thanks for watching. And to all of our men and women serving in the military and as first responders, Godspeed, God bless, and come home safe. Make sure to catch the real stars and cars of the NTT IndyCar Series this Sunday afternoon, April 13th at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time for the Acura Grand Prix of Long Beach. You can follow all the action on your Fox affiliate, on the Fox app, and on the IndyCar Live app if you're outside of America, or just join Mark Janes and the gang on IndyCar Radio on Sirius Channel XM 215. Be sure to check your local listings for the correct broadcast times and station in your area. Catch us again on Wednesday, April 30th at 9 p.m. at Barber for the next race up. The IndyCar iRacing Series Saturday Top Split on P1. Have a great weekend, everybody. Go watch IndyCar Racing.